Okay. Let's first off shut down the sound on my phone so I don't have streamception here. Still don't have the music quite set up yet. I mean, I figured out a way to do it finally, but there's still some weird jank that I'm dealing with. If you noticed, I managed to come up with something pretty nifty. There's no cool background behind me because I got the green screen set up, so it's all. Anyway, I'm figuring that out as I go, but new toys to play with while playing the YouTube game, I guess. I'm going to be just diving right in here because I don't have too much time. At least I don't think so. The dog's pretty tired, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'm at least going to try to get the big portion of this page done up here. As best as I can tonight anyway. I hope you guys can hear me while I did a little bit of a mic check, but I'm also just kind of diving in here. I rearranged my office, so I don't know how well everything's going to be working out. Put this a little bit more in front of me. There we go. Okay. Let's just see. It looks like we've got everything going. Okay, let's get some work going here. I'm very close to my goal of 100 subs, by the way. I'm at 91. I just need 9 more, and I finally get to upgrade my URL. So when I share stuff, it won't be just a bunch of random numbers and gobbledygook, which would be wonderful, and I can't wait to fix that. But not going to dwell on that right now. I've been a little slow on posting content, so I'm not surprised that it's taken me a little bit. But as you can see, I've got a ton of like background to line out. So let's get into that as best as I can anyway. I didn't think that I would actually get to stream tonight, much like this whole weekend, but my wife took the dog out for a long hike, so he seems fairly sleepy. Which means I might actually have a decent amount of time. Now, I might be beating myself up here because I know that I want to edit a bunch of things in this background, and I probably shouldn't just go inking all of it. But who knows? It might be one of those things that I completely redo off stream sometime. Just want to make some progress. So busy at the shop, haven't been able to play with the YouTube. Just something that I have wanted to be doing for a little bit now. Also tried upgrading some of my lighting. Picked up some interesting little like cheap smart lights on an Amazon. They change colors and everything. It's kind of cool. A little bit fun to play with. Just got them today though, so I haven't really had a chance to use them too much other than helping light my my green screen. The green screen, by the way, was just a little cheap $20 one that I found on Amazon. And I managed to build a PVC backdrop, all for basically $35 altogether, with the green screen included. If you don't count the PVC tool, that is wonderful, and I feel like it's one of the greatest inventions in a long time, and that was worth the buy anyway. But actual supplies wise, other than the tool, talking about $30 altogether. Just in case somebody else is thinking they want to try making a green screen. Okay. get this going here. I got another really busy week this week with a bunch of 6-hour tattoos, so I wanted to get as much of this done up as possible. Now, luckily, I've set up my office back for streaming again, which means I should be able to at least do it a couple times this week. At least. So it probably won't be... I might stream tomorrow night again. And I'm hoping to be streaming Thursday at least a couple times. I'm going to be getting some videos together, and I'm trying to actually change my whole sleep schedule so I can actually get more work done streaming, get up a little earlier, so I might have some early morning shifts or streams in the future here. We will find out. Recently got some bonus inspiration following James Ray's streams. He started doing a Patreon stream account, and I am knee-deep into it and absolutely loving it. So it inspired me to build up my setup as much as I could to get some streaming myself done up. I'm going to try to periodically check things actually while I'm at it. Yeah. Yeah, Harmony, a glitch in the Matrix. It's going to do that every once in a while because that's an OBS thing. Also because I'm running through my iPhone right now. I did just order a HDMI capture card for my Canon. So I should, in the very near future, get a much cooler, much better, crisper image. Because I got a lot better lighting going on in here now. Is super exciting. Got me a cheap ring light, got them smart lights so I can backdrop highlight, which means my room is actually going to be lit enough to make better use of my Canon, because the only downside to that camera is the lens I have doesn't work particularly well in low light. But yeah, the cool part about the green screen is that I got to I can move around that speech bubble and play around with that a little bit, which was fun. Also got to make everything a little bit bigger. More space for the actual art, and more space to not have to worry about making a little frame. So who knows, I might change up a layout all over again, but maybe after I'm done with inking the comic, I'll go through and custom that up again. Starting to think that I got into streaming and YouTube just so I could mess around with more and more editing and creation of like the actual process. That's what I really like doing, so I'm not surprised. Which is cool, because I have a couple friends who are going to be starting up their own YouTubes, and I'm sure that they would enjoy me helping them set up a couple of these things for them as well. Actually got one that's almost done for my buddy DJ. I just haven't had that much time to work on it. Let's see how much of this, at least this panel, I want to get done. I mean, I want to get down to these smaller panels, though, because they're really cool. And those ones are the fun ones, art-wise. So I'd like to get all of this stuff up here done up as quick as possible. Especially considering I'm still tossing and turning as to whether or not I'm going to redo some of it. I was going to redo it all before jumping into a stream, but that seemed like cheating. Instead, all I did was import a couple things. Uh-oh, okay. There we go. Had a little bit of a glitch there. Sorry. Still haven't pulled in an Ethernet cable all the way over here. However, now I can plug an Ethernet cable in, which is cool, so that's convenient. I just need a long-ass Ethernet cord. why I torture myself by doing all these individual bricks. I could have simplified this down a lot. Okay. Hey, Dad, what's happening? Okay. Ah, Jordo's still at work, huh? Fun, fun. Well, if the doggo would let me, I would love to be able to draw until 10, but I have this strange feeling that that's not going to happen. Who knows, maybe I'll be able to jump on later. Sammy tuckered out the pup pretty good on a long hike, so seems to be relaxing over there. He's been a cranky asshole all day, though. Okay. I stole back the air conditioner for my stream tonight, but it hasn't been on for the longest time over here, so it's still really, really warm. Which is unfortunate. I actually had to adjust my saturation and contrast so I didn't look like I was melting, because I'm very red right now. Okay. Okay, thank God. I'm sure I was on a separate layer. Ah. Yeah, I still gotta go get tires. Gotta make the money for that, though. Okay. Yeah, yes they are. I'm just going to pick up some all-weather ones. Luckily that will probably last me for as long as I have the truck, depending on how things go. Sammy might be doing a deal with her mom with a Subaru Outback because she wants to switch it up. We just paid off her Crosstrek, so we may end up trying to get a hold of that next year. As much as I love the Crosstrek she just paid off is it gonna last a hell of a lot longer. So I might have to be all responsible and make a choice. Said keyword might, because I do love it and I don't want to get rid of it, but we'll see. If it makes sense, then it makes sense. Blast that being a rational human being. It's a Sierra 2005 GMC Sierra extended cab. I just need to get some tires that will hold me over for a little while. What am I doing on this, Dad? I'll zoom out so you guys can see. I am working on the splash page. So right now I'm just trying to get... Oop, throwing my Apple Pencil around. I'm just trying to get this this page all lined out with the background. I would ideally like to get all of this top portion here done, but it's probably going to take longer than the amount of time that I have. I mean, who knows? I'm almost done. Like, most of this side is the building, and that's going pretty quick so far. I really want to get into these lower panels down here because they're pretty fun. So who knows? Maybe I'll work on finishing page 2 first before I jump over to page 3. Because then I could actually play with both. Get to have my cake and eat it too, so to speak. Let's get rid of that for now. Okay. No, the first page is already finished. If you wanted to see that one fully finished, Dad, you can watch back on one of the other streams. Just look for the ones that say page 1. This is page 2 and 3, so it's a splash page. But those videos are up and you can watch them. I haven't done a like time-lapse page yet because I'll probably come up with a custom one once I finish all of these. I've decided that I am going to try to stream me inking this whole comic on here. So everyone who follows me on these streams is going to, be a little bit spoiled with things, but it's more like you'll actually be the ones who get the privilege of seeing it all beforehand, because when I do like a time lapse, I'm going to edit out certain parts of it, so that way if people want to actually see the story, they will have to pick up either the book or download it, depending on whether or not it ends up being a digital thing. Who knows? Haven't got there yet. I'm not going to make any hard decisions just yet. Yeah, no, that basically I'm mostly just doing that the title on the second page because it's something that like old school Jim Lee Batman comic books and like Frank Miller and stuff used to always do, where it's like when you get to the splash page you add like the title and subtitle. Because initially when I was originally working on this, I didn't know if I was actually going to even make a cover and make it a book. I kind of just thought I was going to do it as like a digital thing. And so it's almost like, think of it as like getting through to a like the intro of a movie kind of thing, where they all of a sudden show the title after the first 10 minutes or something. It's like kind of like that, which is pretty cool. I'm still at a point where I'm super excited to color this. That's the goal, is to get this coloring book done up so I can actually color it, because that's what I want. I'm still tempted, and I think it would be kind of cool, at least for the people who are streaming here too, to make a black and white version of these to see if other people wanted to color it too, just for funsies. But we shall see, because that, I don't know, there'd be some cost factor behind that. Anything that costs money, I got to think about a little bit extra, because all this hobby seems to be costing me a lot of money lately. Not that that's a problem. I spent most of my day setting up. Yeah, I've thought about it. I actually just joined a Patreon for James Ray's, like what I was saying earlier today, because he set one up for his what he calls a virtual studio, and which is kind of what inspired me to do this whole page altogether, is because I missed his virtual studio. So now that he started it back up, I had to join it. So I'm now into his Patreon. And I might down the line do that, because it is something that would be work out. But I want to get more followers first. I don't want there to be a buy-in on anything until then. Oh man, that green screen is glitching a bit. It's my camera connection, which is funny because everything else seems connected pretty solid. But is it movement? Nope, seems to be working. Huh? Just random. Can't wait till I get the camera, so it will hopefully be less matrix glitchy. But yeah, Harmony, down the line, that might happen, but I don't want to have to get anybody to charge. I mean, I'd rather... It would be cool maybe down the line when I need this to help pay for itself, or if I have a very specific goal in mind. Like maybe once I start doing the coloring of the comic, that might be a good option, because I could have it pay for the comic book itself, which would be smart. But I also think that a Patreon, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily hook the people up that are helping me out right off the bat. Like, it does, it can. I just don't know how to set that up. I'd have to figure that out and do a bunch of research. But the other option is, once I get most of this comic book done up, is to do like a Kickstarter. Because if I do it as a Kickstarter and have like a small goal of like trying to save up like $2,000 or something, or even less than that, so I could print off like 1,000 or 2,000 copies, which is excessive, and I don't necessarily need to do that. I could have a much smaller goal. Instead, people could help support the Kickstarter and get a copy of the comic. So what you'd actually be doing is just buying your copy and helping me actually be able to afford the print process of it, which could be really, like, I don't know, that seems like a good way to go. But it's just me pondering it. Like I said, once I have this thing actually going, so so I know more of what the plan will be. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But Patreon would be cool once I have enough followers to justify it. Right now, I like how cool this is because people are able to jump in and chat with me, and it's one-on-one. It's a pretty small amount of viewers. Once it starts getting hectic and I can't follow the chat anymore, that's when it might it might be more smart to try to go with or smarter to try to go with like a Patreon. Okay, I'm just reloading again real quick, make sure I'm not missing any convo. Okay. We are getting there. See, we almost got the top half of the first page done, and then we get to make the decision as to where I'm going from there. This building, I will forewarn, will look a little bit odd until we actually end up getting the shading or something in there so that it makes sense, because it's got like this flat edge on the corner instead of a sharp corner, because I didn't want it to just be a brick. I'm only bringing that up because Sammy made fun of me for it when I initially drew it. And I agree, it's a very odd shape, but it was... kind of did that just specifically to stop there from being like a paper flat, like, I don't know, fold to it. Oh, I just shut off the volume on my phone and it still keeps going off. Okay. Oh. Sorry about the weird angle. I try to remind myself not to do that, but sometimes it's just easier. Yeah, the whole goal of this entire channel is really just to have it in the long run pay for itself. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I'm really having fun paying. Like, obviously, I upgraded a bunch of camera gear, which it's super cool. By the way, my camera is. Let me find it real quick. I've already decked it out quite a bit. I'm gonna be buying more attachments for it, but I got my camera with its camera cage. So it's got a whole bunch of fun things involved with it. So I can attach it to my top-down rig so it actually connects. There's both attachments on the top and bottom, so it's really easy to do. Right now my iPhone is taking up that space just because it was easier to plug it into OBS. Once I have a capture card, I'll be able to put a tripod up and actually just use this the whole time. The reason why this is cool is because it has a flippable screen, so I can both see myself while recording, as well as I'll be able to change the focus and actually make things a little bit more artsy. Blurred backgrounds, I unfortunately wouldn't be able to do in my office. It's just too small of a space. But with the green screen, I was able to cheat that pretty cool earlier today when I was trying out a couple things. So my next, I'm going to do a channel update in the next couple days. And once I have recorded that, you'll see what I mean. It's a pretty cool little trick. But so far, I'm super happy with the camera. I got to go out to my buddy's wedding and really mess around with it. Learn a bunch of new things. Still got to edit some of that footage for him. But that gave me a real good chance to really learn the device and play around with it some more. And I can't wait to come up with more reasons for that. I'm really trying to make that into mostly like an actual filming rig for a bunch of other things. I've talked to a couple friends about doing some super cheesy 90s style commercials just because that's awesome. And so just local businesses, friends of mine. And it'll just be fun to kind of mess around with it and try out a bunch of like a new art that I've never really been a part of. And I'm loving the concept. Also, when you spend good chunks of money on a new toy, it's good to actually make use of the new toy. I want that thing to pay for itself eventually here too. So far, so good. Yeah, so far I got Roger from Skip's Lounge all about the idea. So he's I told him to kind of come up with what he wants to talk about, how he wants to like write. So basically just throw a bunch of ideas down and we'll come into it because he is such a personality already that like I don't know, I'm thinking almost like it's like the Big Al commercial kind of stuff. I hope that he wants to go all out with it because he's already doing such a good job of advertising for Skips now that they have like a restaurant. He's making all these memes and stuff. It just makes a ton of sense for us to film like a cheesy fun commercial for him. And I got a lot of friends who own businesses, so it feels like a fun way to get my foot in the door playing with that new skill. I also can get a hold of DJ, who I know is literally trying to do that as a business right now. So it's basically one of those things where we can tackle these projects and learn together, which will be a lot of fun. Okay. Let's hope that this looks good because I'm just kind of BSing my way through it. Looks decent right now anyway. Yeah, obviously any commercials that I make will have to get posted on here just for A, so I can make the video shareable for them real easy, and B, because it would be a fun, like I said, it's a fun project, and I wouldn't mind having that as part of my little YouTube portfolio that I'm creating slowly here. So that will have to happen. Bunch of fun ideas coming down the pipeline. Okay. That. Some cracks and fun things here. Gotta add some textures. Okay. So far, so good. Obviously, I'm going to be going back into outlining the character some more. Yes, Dad, it is. That's the one that, if you remember back when we were on the Raymond Campground, that Harmony used to hang out with us all the time. He used to play guitar and stuff. Still chilling. One of the few people I grew up with that still gets hangs out and gets tattoos with me, which is super cool, and I appreciate it greatly. Has supported me for a long time. Also, the small world. If go figure, Harmony, didn't your dad go to Coop's Creations even way beforehand? Well, obviously way before I was there. So it's kind of one of those fun small world things. Which is always cool. I hope I like that position of the character because I didn't ink out anything behind him. If I don't like it, I'll have to fix that later. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Okay. The moment is quickly coming as to whether or not I should keep going right or do all the fun stuff that I want to do. I think that while I seem to have some time, I gotta finish this top page first at least. Okay. Been pretty far. So I will say, guys, I have done a significant amount of research on getting music to play in the streams. And I came up with like a weird backup way to do it because apparently Apple doesn't like giving OBS the ability to make use of the desktop's background. So I have to figure out a way to make a playlist. I already got a program to be able to do it. But it's strange and it messes with me a little bit. It means that I have to adjust the way that I use my microphone, and it seemed like too much stuff to try to set up right now. It's a new program for me, so I got to figure that out first. But that means that we'll be able to listen to music here soon. And the cool part is about that is I already talked to Coop, and he said that I'm allowed to put on Signal to Noise music and host that stuff here. So I will be hosting some Signal to Noise albums and stuff as I stream in the future, which is super cool. Because that means I don't have to go with just, copyright free random music, which I'll still probably do some of because instrumental musics are good to work to. I just got to find some good ones, which I haven't really done the research yet on that. Okay. But putting on some music in the background would probably be a good thing. Help make things a little less quiet. Something to listen to. Maybe be able to join in, do some arts along. Okay. Oh, also, because I have this green screen set up, and it's kind of funny that it like keeps glitching out every once in a while, I kind of want to figure out how to mess with that. And I might even be able to do some random like little special effectsy things, because that was the other reason why I wanted to get a green screen, is to learn how to do that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, Coop, they did like an outdoor show a little bit ago. I'm not sure where it was, but I think it was in New Hampshire, and I think that New Hampshire's allowing like limited outdoor kind of things. I'm not sure. I didn't go to that one. Somebody's got to work at the shop, and I'm booked up for a long time here. I'm almost completely out of days in September, which is just plain crazy, really. I mean, it's good. That's why I've been able to upgrade all of my YouTube stuff recently, but it's definitely tiring. But it's why I get to pick up new toys like my new capture card that I'll have coming in soon. I already figured out a battery cure for using my Canon continuously. And I guess that I'm not positive on this, but I think Austin might be back in Signal to Noise, which is kind of cool. Oh, I'm sure Harmony. That's got to be stressful, trying to figure out what the heck's going to be going on with the kiddo. Because it's not like they're really jumping out and telling people what's going on, because I kind of feel like nobody knows what's going on. But obviously, just let me know. Once, just give me a call when you figure out what your schedule is going to be like, because mine, who knows what it's going to look like then. Yeah, but, I'll get you in as soon as possible. The best I can. Uh-oh. Got a very specific alarm that may be going off. If it is, though, I'll probably just run him outside and see if I can keep going. So I'll take like a quick $5, because I would like to get further into this. But we've only been going for... Does it tell me how long now? 43 minutes? Oh, that's not so bad. Let me get through a bit, but it's just a bunch of bricks that I got to do, so... Yes, the pupper. Yep, and that's what happens when everyone goes and hangs out outside. That's scary, though. I know a bunch of people that have done that. Went to Bar Harbor recently, including you, Dad. Okay, you guys, if you don't mind waiting a couple of minutes, I'm going to take the doggo out because he's clearly grumpy at me. So I'm going to take him out. I'm going to bring him outside for a quick second. I will be right back. While I am gone for just a quick moment, I will give you guys my wonderful waiting screen. So I will be right back, guys. Give me about 5-10 minutes at most. I don't think it'll be 10 minutes. It'll be 5 minutes, definitely. But I'll be back. I'll see you in just a minute. I am back. I may have bought a few minutes, and I totally didn't cheat with some peanut butter. Okay, Dad, I'll see you soon. But that might have at least bought me a couple minutes. I hope, anyway. We'll see. He is kind of a fiend, so it may not have worked at all. We will find out, I suppose. Just wanted to get a little bit more done. Okay, hey, you know what though? This is... Oops, I don't know why I've been doing that lately. I've been jumping to my keyboard instead. Lines. Let's add one more though above all of these. We'll go with panel 2 lines. I'll do that so it makes me feel like I've accomplished something cool. Let's go with panel 2. Yes, we do use a Kong, and he loves it. He plays with that thing all the time, even when it's not filled with peanut butter. It's one of his favorite things. Also, I got a new chair, guys. It's comfy. It's way better than my last chair. Like night and day. Which is glorious. Because I really needed that. Okay. Remember that this panel is super small, so I don't need to put a ton of detail into faces and things. You know, that still never stops me from doing it anyway. I really shouldn't have given the dog peanut butter, by the way. If I wasn't wearing a glove, I'd show off the fact that he bit me real hardcore today. All because I gave him a bath and tried to dry him off so he wouldn't be cold next to the air conditioner. But no, he was not having that. Like I said, Sammy took him on a long hike yesterday. And I think he's just super tired. But then again, though, he's also an asshole, so could have just been continuing his usual assholery. Very possible. Uh-oh, I'm making that mistake again. I'm zooming in way too close. Oh no. That's no good. What'd you go to at the drive-in? I'm really mad at myself. I missed seeing Jaws at the drive-in locally here, and it's hard to forgive myself for that. I didn't know it was happening. I've been really adamant to not go out in public, but that would have been... What? Harmony! There was an Evil Dead 2 showing in a drive-in, and you didn't immediately message me? I feel betrayed. I understand. It's totally fine. But at the same time, I would have gone out of my way to see that. Like, way out of my way. I would have dragged the wife along. If she wasn't even able to go, I'd go by myself. I'm so jealous. This is a jealous face. Also, I really want to get some new posters for the wall. I have, the obvious go-to for me is I have John Carpenter's The Thing already in my cart on Amazon. I just could not convince myself to spend more money. And Evil Dead 2 was up there, because that is my favorite one, but I feel like as far as posters go, Army of Darkness's poster's so much cooler. Pride's Corner, I would have totally gone. I would have gone so bad. That would have been so good. I'm legit jealous. Like, that would have been a great time. I mean, I don't know why I'm freaking out so badly over this. I do own all of them, and I can watch them whenever I want. But the drive-in would have been great. It's just one of my favorite things. I'm still mad at myself for not going to see Blade Runner at Cinemagic when they were playing it as like one of their throwback Thursdays. Especially because on that throwback Thursday we were actually there for Suicide Squad, which was a complete disappointment to me. So I still don't forgive myself for not taking the chance to see Blade Runner the final cut in theaters. That would have been so good. Okay, I'm doing that thing again where I'm focusing too much on the little details in such a small piece. Yeah, agreed, Harmony. It would have been so good. I'm still mad at myself because instead I got to see Jared Leto be a terrible Joker and a movie that just was not finished and not able to be edited in a decent way. On the plus side, because of that mistake, I went to Blade Runner 2049 like 4 times in theaters. Which, yes, add that up. I was in theaters for over 12 plus hours for Blade Runner 2049. Because it was that good. I brought Sammy once. Would have brought her more, but I just kept going. She was working that week. Yeah. You do, Harmony. I know it's hard when you have a kid to watch a 3.5 hour long movie, but it's of all the 3.5 hour long movies that you could watch, I'm telling you, that one's the one. Oh yeah, I forgot when I was inking this that I'd have to somehow figure out how this geometry makes any sense. It's not going to. I'm going to tell you that right now. That luckily it's plate armor and I can kind of just BS my way through it because none of it's going to add up. Also, now that I'm looking at it, none of this is going to make sense. Okay, so I'm going to finish inking this head real quick. Get some of the hair going. Because none of this actually works. Okay, so that face at least looks right. Yeah, but Blade Runner 2049 will not disappoint you at all. It's incredible. It's a long movie, but every second of it is perfect. And I really, truly mean that. Like, it's one of my ultimate favorites already. I've watched it so many times. It fits so well in the canon of Blade Runner, and it at the same time is 100% its own movie. You do not even need to watch Blade Runner at all to have that movie not be perfect. Okay, so let's see here. The reason why I did that is because now I can actually adjust and make this make sense. Close enough. I'll have to shrink down everything else just a little bit, but let's put this. There, we'll that one a little bit wider. Uh-oh. Might be a little bit of lag again. I'm sorry, but this is once again due to the fact that I need to get a very long Ethernet cable. Because I have really good internet. I just, unfortunately, am connected via Wi-Fi. Because that's all I got at the moment. That might be my next Amazon order. Yeah, see, now it's saying it's perfect. Weird. Okay, so this is the part that, simply put, won't make sense, because basically this needs to go like that, right? Sorry, I'm doing some mental math here. And it's going to have this other shoulder pauldron go over that. Oh, that's super cool. I wouldn't mind owning more Stranger Things memorabilia. If I didn't have the green screen blocked out, you'd see that I have a Stranger Things poster on the wall, which I just moved, actually. I switched out with a Watchmen one just because my Stranger Things poster is still in plastic. I refuse to take it out until I have like a frame for it, but even then it'd be too reflective. You know, confusing myself with the all the stuff. Okay, so I figured out what I have to do. Kind of. Basically, I need to put this like that. It's not actually going to make much sense, but, you know, I was the dummy who decided to make a bunch of plate armor instead of just going with some basic. I could have made my life easier. All I had to do was go with, you know, chainmail and a tabard. Would have made my life a lot easier, but instead, I decided to go the hardest route possible, which is nothing new. Good news is everything looks really right in my next panel. So that one will be easier. I am super excited for the next season of Stranger Things, but I'm sure it's been pushed back like everything else has been. I'm just pretending that I know how the rest of this is going to make any sense. It's going to be one of those I'll fix it when I start coloring things, which is a terrible mindset to have in art, but, you know. Why the hell not? See how screwy that looks. Like green screen, I'm sure it looks real weird. Yep, nope. Super excited for season 2 of The Boys. They already announced a 3rd season with that. So that's cool. I actually have not even watched the 1st season of Umbrella Academy, which I recognize is problematic because I'm always telling everyone else to watch things. So don't worry, I will watch it. Now that the 2nd season is out, it's one of those things where I definitely will watch it. I just hadn't had time. I mean, that's kind of a lie. I mean, I have had time. I just haven't had, like, the right kind of time. I've been trying to have a lot of background shows that I don't want to watch while I've been, background shows make it so that I can actually focus. And I've been watching Numbers, which it's okay. I've just been watching some formulaic shows so I can figure out how to get better at writing because I'm paying attention to how each episode is set up. But as fun as that is, it is kind of just wasting a bunch of time. But I just really don't want to take away from working on the streams and stuff. And I'm gonna have to fix the rest of this arm so much. It's okay though. We'll get there. Turns out I did not pay attention when penciling this whole page, this whole 2-page setup. And that's only going to get worse the further we get into this comic in general. Okay, so check this out. We're going to bend up a couple of those, erase that. This is where our elbow is going to be. Surprised that worked so well, by the way. I really wasn't banking on it too hard. Figured that I was going to have to be done soon. Refresh. Okay, let's see here. So now the rest of this arm, I'm going to draw separately for a second. I should probably do something witty. By witty, I mean make it make even a little bit of sense would be good. Because now I just made this very difficult on myself. Anyway, let's just ignore it and we'll fix it later. Okay. Not too bold. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, other than working on getting my 100 subs here, I've been doing a pretty solid job of working on slowly ticking away at my 4,000 hours I need to do to make this YouTube get any sort of monetizing, which is, that's at least cool. Streaming's definitely good for that. I can see why there are so many gamers on YouTube as opposed to anything else. Just because it's like by far the fastest way to make any sort of accomplishment or tier up. But like I said, I'm almost at my goal, which is the 100 subs. I only needed that specifically because once I have 100 subs, I'll be able to do. I'll be able to change my URL, which is all I'm really interested in. Once I have that figured out, I get to finally get past my mild OCD problems of numbers and digits being after my name, which frustrates me. Yeah, you need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs before you can start monetizing any video, which is a lot. I think I'm at like 42 watch hours currently. Which, I mean, if you think of it in a positive way, 42 watch hours is 1/1000th, yeah, of the way there, or 1/100th of the way there. 1/100th. Which is, that's something. We're getting there. Basically, everyone has stated that in order to get your YouTube to a point where it's monetized, it's essentially like 3 years of work, which is cool. But I mean, a lot of people don't have the initial followers on different socials like I do. So, I did this backwards. Yeah, you just saw me do that. Isn't that a cool freaking trick? Wait, no. Yep, that was the... Hold up. Let me make sure. Never mind, this is accurate. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it takes quite a bit to get to the monetization portion of YouTube. Like I said, I wasn't trying to make money on this necessarily. It just would be nice to have it pay for itself in the long run. Because this is not my, going to be a full-time job really ever. But if my job is pointless and not worth doing anytime soon, which obviously right now it's important, but if Sammy finishes all of her schooling, then there's really no point to my job. So then I'll just be doing more things like this, which I find fun. Okay. to clarify, I would never stop tattooing. It's kind of my favorite thing to do, so it would just become more of a hobby than important. Which I look at almost everything I do as more of a hobby anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is it's nothing new. Okay. Let's get one more bandolier pouch in here. You know, because I'm a 90s kid, which means unnecessary amounts of bandoliers and pouches on everything is a must, because, you know, Image Comics. So, gotta have all that. Okay. Where are we at? Hour of time. Let's... Oh, see? Dog alarm's going off again. Hey, you know, it bought a lot more time than I thought. They're not fanny packs. They're like Rob, oh, why am I blanking on his name right now? It's like Deadpool pouches. Shoot, that's gonna bug me here. Let me look that up. Rob Liefeld. Him and Jim Lee back in the 90s were like, hey, how many crazy bandolier pouches can we put on everything? Hey, let's test something weird. What happens if I do this? Does it do something strange? I don't know, because there's a slow feedback on it. The glass and green screen. Aha, yeah. It just takes away half of it. Give me a second, Brady. I'm almost done with what I wanted to accomplish. I know that you don't care. Deal with it. This hand makes no sense. Basically, Brady's crying at me because every day at around 10, he feels like he deserves to go into the living room. Oh, you can't hear him? Here. I can fix that. I might get a little louder. But, let's see. What, Brady? What's wrong? Huh? Why are you so sad? Here, let me see if it actually is pulling through. Why are you so sad? Huh? Yeah, I wish I could agree with you, Harmony, that he was a demon today. Like, I can't stress that out enough. Like, just a monster. And yeah. He caused some issues. Caused some damage to my arm. Or hand, rather. Well, that's okay, because I got to figure out this arm and that other arm. And I'll probably need some time to think about it. But once again, Harmony, thank you for joining me while I was streaming. It means a lot. It does help push me through I'm going to be doing a lot more streams this week for sure, especially now that I've just set up my office specifically for this. So I will be going through and making sure that I get at least this page done, and I would assume the next few days. Thursday, if I don't have any time tomorrow, which I should have a little bit of time tomorrow night, obviously Brady depending. If I do have time tomorrow night, I'll be probably going for another hour. And Thursday, I'm going to try to do it twice. Once earlier in the day, which I usually, like, if I can get on around like noon or 1 o'clock, Brady lets me go for a couple of hours because he usually sleeps during the day when I'm at work. So if I can power through it then, I should be able to get on here a couple of times that day and get a bunch done. We might be able to finish that whole page. I'm going to have to re-ink a few different things, but I think that would be a lot of fun. So have yourself a lovely night, and we'll see you on the next stream. Anyway, have a good one.